Thank you very much. We will go ahead and begin the Senate Committee on Education. We welcome you this afternoon, and we welcome those that are online and present by phone. Will the Secretary please call the roll?
Vice Chair Dundera-Loop.
Here.
Senator Hardy.
Here.
Senator Hammond.
Here.
Senator Lang.
Here.
Senator Buck.
Here.
Senator Danyate.
Here.
Chair Dennis.
Here. Thank you very much. And just, yeah, we do have a quorum. Everyone's here. So for just a reminder on the video to keep yourself muted when not speaking. Committee information is available on Nellis online and on the legislature's website. You can also watch our meetings through the Nellis site or through the legislature's YouTube channel. And just a reminder that the YouTube channel is about 30 seconds delayed, so we'll try to make sure we wait. So when we get to where you want to ask or give comments, we'll try to wait to make sure that you have time to be able to connect. Also, if testifying or providing public comment, please register to participate through Nellis. You will receive an email confirmation with call-in information. And detailed instructions for participating are available on the help page. When testifying, state and spell your name and affiliation, if any. We'll take public comments, going to be at the very end, and I will limit that to 2 minutes per person. And then please feel free to submit your comments in writing and briefly summarize them in spoken testimony. You may submit written comments as outlined on the agenda by emailing or faxing them to our committee manager. So with that, on our agenda today, we have 2 bills that we will hear. And we are going to start with SB 160, which I think I think Senator Kiekefer is going to at least begin the presentation. So whenever you're ready, Senator.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate it. Chairman Dennis, members of the committee, my name is Ben Kiekefer. I represent Senate District 16 in this body, which is South Washoe County and all of Carson City. It's a pleasure to be with you today to present Senate Bill 160, which I have brought forward as a measure that was brought to my attention by a constituent of mine, who I'm going to introduce shortly, tell you a little bit about why this bill is important and the impact that it can have on students in Nevada. But first off, I'll walk you a little bit through the bill. Nevada, as you all know, offers the opportunity for dual credit enrollment for high school students who can achieve credit both for high school and college when enrolling in certain courses. And the bill before you today would ensure that we provide the most robust offering available to students for which courses they can attend and attain credit for. And this is done by clarifying our language to ensure that out-of-state colleges and universities are available to offer dual credit enrollment for our students in Nevada. Now, I've submitted an amendment to Senate 160 that has been posted to Nellis as a component of this notification, and that amendment is in conformance with my original intent of the legislation as it was envisioned and presented to me by my constituent who you'll hear from. This amendment was created really by the Nevada System of Higher Education because their first reading of the bill and the way it was originally drafted does really offer a workaround that was not intended. So the amendment, as it's presented, would allow a charter school or a school district to enter into agreements with out-of-state institutions for dual enrollment classes if the school, originally accredited school within the state, did not provide or offer such a course. So it really gives the Nevada System of Higher Education sort of first right of refusal to offer courses for dual enrollment for Nevada students. And then if those types of courses are not offered, and we don't provide every course that a student might want, then a district could look towards an out-of-state institution to provide that dual enrollment opportunity for our students. And that was the situation that one of my constituents found herself in. At that point, I'd like to turn it over to my constituent, Kenna Mirzayan, who will tell you a little bit about what her experience was and why she's here to support the bill today. So, Kenna, if you want to speak up, go right ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. I'm Kenna Mirzayan. I'm currently a junior in high school, and I first became aware of this issue over the past summer when I decided that I wanted to take a Farsi class during my junior year, and my high school did not provide a class. That was a Farsi Persian class, and that encouraged me to look through universities and colleges that would provide one. And while I was on this search, I found that no schools in Nevada that were universities or colleges provided a Farsi class, whereas schools centered outside of the state of Nevada, like NYU and UT Austin, did provide a class that I was looking for. And eventually, after searching, I found a class that worked with my schedule, but I went to speak with Washoe County School District administration in order to enroll in the class. And that's when I learned that because I was taking a class, that I was set to take a class outside of the state of Nevada, I wouldn't be able to receive dual credit for it. And while I was speaking with Washoe County School District administration, they expressed frustration because they felt that they weren't able to properly provide for their students, and they weren't properly able to do their jobs because of current language within the Nevada statutes. So after 2 months, I was able to create a Farsi class, but it's exceedingly convoluted and independent, and I currently have to wake up at 5:30 in the morning before school on weekdays in order to see my Farsi teacher, and 7:30 on weekends because she currently lives in Turkey, and that's the only time that would work for both of our time zones. And this is an example of something that Senate Bill 160 aims to address, because while I was exceedingly lucky to have the opportunity to create a class from scratch, a majority of Nevada students don't have that opportunity, and resources and opportunities or a lack thereof shouldn't hinder a student's ability to receive an education and pursue what they're passionate about. So.
Thank you, Kenna. Mr. Chairman, the only other thing I would probably note about the legislation is that I believe another amendment was going to come in. I didn't see it posted to Nellis, but there was going to be a proposed amendment to amend the language again to ensure that university schools for the profoundly gifted, such as the Davidson Academy on the UNR campus, were also just included in this language as being authorized to offer these dual enrollment courses. We usually incorporate that language into legislation relating to these types of programs. So I saw it as friendly if it comes your way, but I hadn't seen it posted as before this meeting. So that is
Senator Kiefer, I'll tell you, I did see the amendment, and so it should show up at some point.
Okay, perfect. I consider that friendly, and I'll close my presentation there, Mr. Chairman, and open it up for any questions that you or the committee may have.
So let me just start it off first. So there's only the two things that are changing in section 1, subparagraph 1, where it adds located in the state, and then the school district or charter may enter into a cooperative agreement with one or more institutions of higher ed located in another state. And the second one was in the subparagraph 3, subsection 1, where it talks about the Institute of Higher Ed located in another state. So it's just those two things that are changing, correct?
The only other thing I would probably note, Mr. Chairman, is that it's we all should the amendment also adds the requirement that any institution that's offering dual credit, whether it be in-state or out-of-state, be regionally accredited, so that it holds those academic programs to the highest of standards.
Great, thank you. members, let me put it on gallery view. Yeah, any questions? Yeah, Senator Dondera-Lupe.
Yes, just a quick clarifying question. Have you spoken to the school districts and the State Department of Ed regarding this?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman, through to Senator Dondera-Lupe. Yes, and I failed to mention my appreciation to the State Superintendent Ebert, because I had spoken to Superintendent Ebert about this issue prior to the start of session. We had recognized it as an issue we'd like to work on together, and she actually incorporated similar language to this into one of her bills, which I believe this committee heard earlier this session. And so I filed this bill just not knowing what the fate of that legislation was going to be. But you've probably seen similar language to this previously as submitted by the state superintendent. And I do believe that the Washoe County School District as well is going to be on the line in the support position when we open it up for testimony.
Thank you very much. And just a quick follow-up to Kenna. Kenna, thank you for being involved today. And what did you say the class was? I couldn't quite understand what you said.
Oh, it was a Persian Farsi class.
Persian.
Like Farsi, yeah. That's
Okay.
like another, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, other, hold on, trying to keep switching back to the speaker mode. Okay, let's see, other questions? Senator Buck. And Senator Lang, do you also have your hand up? Okay, Senator Buck.
Thank you, Chair Dennis, and thank you, Senator Keffer. I just want to make a quick comment that it's such a great idea not to limit students who are in, search of knowledge. I think it's a great use of tax dollars. It's a great bridge to college, dual enrollment in particular, and it also really helps kind of alleviate, especially in Southern Nevada, the high numbers in our high school classrooms. And so if students are ready, why not put them in college? So that's just a quick comment. Thank you, Chair, for the time.
All right, other questions? I'm not, yes, Senator Hardy.
Oh, how does the grade count towards the GPA? Because somebody that takes a Persian Farsi class probably wants to be valedictorian.
Kenna, do you want to try to answer that? Not about the valedictorian part, you don't have to answer that if you don't want to, but the part about how do you get the credit?
Mine's getting counted under a world language credit right now, and currently I'm not able to get dual credit, so I'm just getting normal credit, but it's going under world language.
So you're getting regular high school credit, but not college credit, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
But how does the grade work? Do you get graded and therefore it goes in your GPA?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So like a regular class. Yes, Senator Lang.
So, Chair, if we were to pass this, would Kenna be able to get dual credit going backwards from when she first started the class?
I'd have to ask Senator Kika for how he did that, but I don't know that it's a backward. Usually the date is usually in the future at some point when it kicks in. Is that correct, Senator Kika?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ben Keycover for the record. The effective date of the legislation is July 1st, 2021, so it's the start of the next fiscal year. We don't usually make bills retroactive in their applicability. We could certainly discuss with council whether that would be feasible, but also it's important to note, right, that the legislation authorizes the district to enter into agreements with these institutions to offer courses. So it doesn't automatically, we wouldn't be able to just sort of pull a trigger and ensure that Kenna and anyone else in her position would receive credit, but or at least this bill doesn't necessarily contemplate that.
But it definitely would help all the students coming forward, so that we appreciate that. Okay, other questions? Yes, Senator Underwood.
Yes, it's just a clarifying question. Kenna, could you state your name for the record and spell it, please? They're looking for that. Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah, of course. My name is Kenna Mirzayan, Kennamirzayan.
Thank you very much. Our secretaries are always listening online, and so they need that clarification. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I was going to actually have you do that, but then I noticed it on the video. It actually has it spelled correctly, so I thought they had access to that, so I didn't. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. If we don't have any other questions, is that a hand? I see Senator Buck. Okay. Yes.
Just really quickly, thank you, Chair Dennis. Will this be elective classes? So I know that there's so many elective classes that are allowed toward graduation. And then kind of piggybacking off of Dr. Hardy's, will they be weighted the same as other high school classes?
Thank you. This is Keith Keffer for the record, Mr. Chairman, through you to Senator Buck. The same process is used, would be used for any out-of-state course that's currently employed for courses that are offered through the Nevada System of Higher Education. So this wouldn't change any of those protocols that are currently.
So the current the current statute that's in place is still in place. This just adds a piece onto it that says that we could accept something from outside if they have an agreement.
Absolutely. So all weighting and issues like that remain consistent.
Yep. Okay. With that, we're going to move to testimony in support. So if I could have BPS add the first caller.
Thank you, Chair. To testify. Oh, yes. Thank you, Chair.
No,
to testify.
I was just gonna say we got to make sure to wait at least after you do that to wait 30 seconds because that first one's always got a delay.
Got it. Thank you, Chair. To testify in support on SB 160, please press *9 now to take your place in the queue. For the callers that recently have joined, if you want to testify in support on SB 160, please press *9 now to take your place in the queue. Caller with the last 3 digits of 927, please slowly state and spell your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and you may begin.
Hello, and thank you, Committee Chair Dennis and committee members. My name is Hava Ahmed, Hawah-Ahmed, and I am here representing the Clark County Education Association. We engage in bipartisan advocacy for advancing public education in Nevada. CCEA supports the Senate Bill 160 and thanks Senators Keffer and Sievers-Gansert for bringing this important bill forth. The goal of public education should not merely be high school graduation, but instead a path to post-secondary education. Dual credit serves 2 purposes. It allows students who are proceeding to higher education the opportunity to explore courses that challenge them while accruing college credits, and it provides students who are interested in post-secondary the ability to explore options for workforce and career. Expanding dual credit education to include out-of-state institutions broadens the opportunities for students, as Nevada students should not be restrained by opportunities only available in the state. Additionally, CCEA believes that maintaining cooperative agreements adds a much-needed layer of transparency by informing students and parents the cost of enrollment up front. CCEA thanks the committee and all sponsors for their efforts and looks forward to supporting the full maturation of the dual credit programs that will come with this session. Thank you.
Thank you. We can move to the next one.
Caller with the last 3 digits of 436, please slowly state and spell your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and you may begin.
Good afternoon. For the record, this is Mindy Elliott, Mendy Elliott. I would like to thank Chairman Dennis and members of the Senate Education Committee for hearing Senate Bill 160. On behalf of the Reno-Sparks Chamber of Commerce, we are advocating for the removal of all obstacles that are standing between students and their post-secondary education and future careers. We thank you for your hearing the bill this afternoon and your consideration of the bill. Thank you.
Thank you.
Caller with the last 3 digits of 411, please slowly state and spell your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and you may begin.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is Lindsay Anderson, LINDSAYANDERSON, on behalf of the Washoe County School District. We'd like to support Senate Bill 160. We appreciate Senator Kekeffer for bringing this forward and certainly working with Superintendent Ebert. You can imagine how difficult it was for us when Kenna reached out to the district to try to explore this opportunity to not have an avenue for her. So we think this is a very common sense approach. It still gives NSHE the first right of refusal on the courses that they offer here in Nevada, but also broadens these opportunities for our students in a very strategic way. So we are in support of SB 160. Thank you.
Caller with the last 3 digits of 469, please slowly state and spell your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and you may begin.
This is Nate McKinnon, NateMackinnon, Vice Chancellor for Community Colleges at the Nevada System of Higher Education. We are pleased, the Nevada System of Higher Education is pleased to support this bill as amended by recommendation for amendment by Senator Kekeffer. We'd like to thank Senator Kekeffer for working with our office on this. We, of course, want to allow as much dual enrollment as possible across the state. We believe that high school students earning college credits while still in high school is an excellent way to encourage post-secondary education. And while we are proud of the many courses we do offer across the state, we certainly also do not want to be prohibiting students from looking into particular courses because we do not offer them in the Nevada System of Higher Education. So we thank you very much for your time, and we are very pleased to support this bill with the recommended amendment for it moving forward that allows students to take a course if it's not offered by the Nevada System of Higher Education. Thank you very much.
Caller with the last 3 digits of 244, please slowly state and spell your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and you may begin.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. For the record, my name is Victor Salcido with the Charter School Association of Nevada. Salcido's S-A-L-C-I-D-O. And we're just here to express our support for SB 160. Anything we can do as a state to encourage dual enrollment for the reasons already stated, we are in full support of. We appreciate Senator Kekeffer for bringing this common sense approach to try to achieve that. And we thank you for listening to our comments. Thank you.
Caller with the last 3 digits of 202, please slowly state and spell your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and you may begin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of this committee. My name is Paige Barnes, P-A-I-G-E-B-A-R-N-E-S. I am here today on behalf of the Nevada Association of School Boards, representing all school board trustees in the state. We are here in support of SB 160. We believe that this bill will create expanded opportunities and horizons for all of our students seeking dual credit courses. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Caller with the last 3 digits of 837, please slowly state and spell your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and you may begin.
Good afternoon. This is Kent Irvin, K-E-N-T-E-R-V-I-N, for the Nevada Faculty Alliance. We are in support of SB 160 as amended to allow dual credit enrollment. First, if the courses offered within Nevada, but then also outside. You know, when I was in high school and wanted to take a college level calculus course, it meant driving across town in a 1951 Plymouth with no tread and not much in brakes. And I'm just amazed that now high school students can sort of look for a course anywhere in the country or around the world and get dual credit for it. And I think that's just great. And we support this bill.
Caller with the last 3 digits of 938, please slowly state and spell your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and you may begin.
Good afternoon, Chair and committee members. My name is Ariel Edwards, ARIELLEEDWARDS, with the City of North Las Vegas. We would like to state for the record that we are in support of SB 160, and we thank the bill sponsors for bringing this forward. We support dual enrollment opportunities that are equitable for all students. We thank you for your time and consideration on this bill.
Once again, if you want to testify in support on SB 160, please press star 9 now to take your place in the queue. Chair, there are no more callers in support at this time.
Okay, thank you. Let's go ahead and then move to those that are in opposition.
To testify in opposition on SB 160, please press star 9 now to take your place in the queue. Chair, there are no callers in opposition at this time.
Okay. Of course, we just asked for it. They haven't even heard it yet because 30 seconds hasn't gone by yet. But let's go to the next one. And if you do, I mean, in any of these, if you miss it, then just call in and we'll try to get it in there. We don't want to miss you because you didn't make it quick enough. If we could go to neutral.
Thank you, Chair. To testify in neutral on SB 160, please press star 9 now to take your place in the queue. Chair, there are no callers in neutral at this time.
Okay. All right. With that, anyone? I'm not hearing any additional ones. So let's, Senator Keffer, do you have any closing comments before we close the hearing?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate it. Bills that I introduce in response to direct outreach from constituents are always my favorite because I get to work with those constituents to help move bills forward. And I thought Ms. Mirzayan did a tremendous job outlining the need for this legislation. And your indulgence, I'd ask if she had anything that she wanted to close with.
Please. Do you have anything? Yep.
I guess, yeah, Kenna Mirzayan for the record. I hope that Senate Bill 160 can help students pursue their passions that they wouldn't be able to pursue if they were just forced to take Nevada classes instead of being able to pursue classes outside of the state of Nevada as well. And I hope that it'll make the jobs of school district administrators easier as well. So.
Thank you, Kenna. Thank you so much for bringing this forward. Whether it will benefit you directly or not, it will benefit kids. So in the future as we move forward. So we appreciate you bringing that forward. Senator Keffer, thank you for bringing the bill. With that, we will go ahead and close the hearing on Senate Bill 160. And we are going to open the hearing on Senate Bill 172. I'm going to turn the gavel over to my vice chair. So whenever you're ready. I'm ready whenever you are.
Thank you very much, sir. I will take the reins. Okay, I'll open the hearing on Senate Bill 172, and I'll ask Senator Dennis to come forward and present the bill.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. And thank you to the members of the committee. For the record, Senator Mo Dennis, representing Senate District 2 in Clark County. I'm here today to present Senate Bill 172, which generally reimagines the dual credit system. So we've just been talking about dual credit, and we're going to continue and look at it, perhaps some additional things that we can do. I'll begin with a little bit of background to provide some context for Senate Bill 172 before going over the bill's details. Research indicates the growing interest in dual credit programs, which allow high school students the opportunity to receive both high school and college credit at the same time for a course taken. After the financial crisis around 2009, interest in these programs increased as students and their families in dire economic conditions sought low-cost solutions to further strengthen their educational and career goals. Some believe we will see a similar surge of interest as a result of conditions stemming from COVID-19 pandemic. According to the 74, a nonpartisan organization, the number of high school students who participate in dual enrollment program has more than doubled over the past 2 decades. The report further indicates that after COVID-19's impact on schools, dual enrollment in summer classes has skyrocketed, and early signs point to a similar trend for the fall. At one college featured in the report, summer dual enrollment increased 270%, and by June 2020, that same school saw a 225% increase for its fall program. At other featured colleges, summer dual enrollment increased 15%, 60%, and 71%. Research also suggests that students participating in dual enrollment programs are more likely than their peers who are not participating in such programs to finish high school. They also have greater access to post-secondary endeavors, whether that school chooses higher education or the workforce. However, despite the success of these programs, access to dual enrollment is not equitable. National data published by the National Center for Educational Statistics show that in 2019, while 30% of white and 38% of Asian students participated in at least one dual enrollment course, only 27% of Black and 30% of Hispanic students participated in these courses. So what does this all mean? We know that through certain programs like dual credit, students are guided on a more transitional focused path to life after high school. We know this program ultimately supports the workforce pipeline and post-secondary pathways by providing meaningful learning and skills. We need to ensure that all our students, including those from different socioeconomic backgrounds, those who are middle or low achieving, and those in our rural communities have the same opportunities for lifelong success. Let me go over the bill. Section 5 of SB 172 removes the application process and prerequisite requirements for a student to participate in dual credit course. Rather than requiring cooperative agreements between school district or charter school and a higher education institution, Section 1 requires each school district and charter school to establish a dual credit program. To ensure these changes target inequities in accessibility and provide other meaningful data, SB 172 also requires the Board of Trustees of school districts and governing bodies of charter schools to report information on their dual credit programs, including the number and demographics of pupils enrolled in these courses, the associated cost, and the program outcomes. To provide the legislature flexibility to make any necessary changes, Section 2 of the bill requires the Legislative Committee on Education to study dual credit programs and make recommendations to improve the system during the 2021-22 interim. In conclusion, I urge your support of SB 172. This bill removes barriers for students seeking to further their education or bolster their career skills. The bill also serves as a workforce development strategy for Nevada. It will help support the state's workforce pipeline, potentially bringing more students into high-demand fields like those in the science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, or STEAM, and the career and technical education fields. This strategy will further leverage Nevada's economic competitiveness. Thank you, Madam Vice Chair and members of the committee for considering SB 172, and I'm happy to answer any questions. We also have Eddie Ablisher here who is going to also present.
Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable members of the Senate Committee on Education. For the record, my name is Eddie Ablisher, A-B-L-E-S-E-R, Eddie, E-D-D-I-E, with Tri-Strategies. And I want to thank Chairman Senator Mo Dennis for sponsoring this much-needed piece of legislation. Over the past 2 years, Blockchains LLC has developed the first high school level class in the nation that teaches students across Nevada introductory principles of blockchain technology. This exciting endeavor was met with open arms from NC institutions who eagerly helped in developing the course. Once developed, NDE and local schools jumped at the chance to offer this course to their students. The response we received from senior level students who took the course as part of their computer science CTE pathway program was overwhelmingly supportive. The program has been a huge success. That said, this education initiative did meet challenges. Through this experience, we found gaps in the current dual credit system that this bill intends to correct. First, students experience complications around the articulation of dual credit towards all NC institutions. In most cases, unless the high school has a specific MOU with an NC institution, the students' credits might not easily transfer and be applied towards their program of study. This bill removes that requirement for an MOU and from the student's application, which in turn removes the barriers that schools and students face with dual credit programs. Furthermore, this bill removes language that narrows which institutions are able to receive that dual credit, and instead makes receiving dual credit available to all students in all institutions. Second, students experience limited access to dual credit programs. Some school districts lack dual credit programs or accessible opportunities to participate in the diverse array of classes which are offered throughout the state. If passed, SB 172 will result in all districts and public charter schools providing their students with dual credit programs. This will empower Nevada students to build college credits while finishing their high school diploma, providing educational access and opportunity that will accelerate and enhance professional careers. Third, students experience inequity in the cost of dual credit because costs are currently dictated by geographic boundaries and NC institution participation. This inequity is unfair to the broader student population, especially when higher costs prevent students from accessing critical education opportunities. SB 172 attempts to address the cost inequity issue by requiring a robust report of demographical and programmatic information to be submitted to the school districts to the Interim Committee on Education for review, presentation, and consideration of possible legislative remedy based upon the results of the report. Lastly, while working with NC and NDE on these gaps, Superintendent Ebert and Chancellor Rose, along with their staff, assembled a dual enrollment work group that is charged with creating policies to fix costs, teacher qualifications, and district support. As a member participating in this cross-agency collaboration, I can tell you they are diligently working on amazing ideas that will assist in solving the problem of cost inequity for our students. I'm encouraged by their collective efforts and dedication to solving these gaps in the current system. And as you can see by testimony logged in, the vast amount of businesses and industry support, employers are wanting a well-trained workforce equipped to enter the workforce as early as high school graduation. These proposed changes will assist all dual credit and CTE pathways in this state, empowering Nevada students to aggressively advance their post-secondary studies and gain advanced skills to find high-wage careers upon graduation. Thank you for your time and attention. I'm available for any questions you might have.
Thank you very, very much. Additional or questions from the committee? Senator Hardy, please go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. So I heard that this is going to save the student money. I don't see, is this saving the money because you're going to get credit for college credits that you don't have to pay for? Is that the means that the student is saving money?
This is Senator Dennis. If you're referring to my comments at the beginning, they save money by being able to get, as you mentioned, get that credit when they're in high school. So when they start college, they don't have to take as many classes. But I believe also Mr. Ablisser mentioned something that's going on now as far as looking at trying to make the cost consistent throughout the system.
But that's not in the bill, is it? I mean,
that part of it is not in the bill. That was Mr. Ablisser, you want to address that because you mentioned that's a committee that's been put together by the department.
Sure. For the record, Eddie Ablisser, through you, Vice Chair Dundera-Loop, to Senator Hardy. The bill addresses the issue of cost and equity by trying to gain data from school districts to determine what they are charging students. Every school district, every NG institution has a unique differentiated cost. We literally have students all over Nevada paying a different credit hour to engage in dual credit throughout the state of Nevada. And there's not really a rhyme or reason to that. This work group that was assembled has dug into that conversation and is looking at a uniform cost. I'm sure they'll present a policy later on this year to guide NSHE and NDE and the steps to take along that path. But what we found that was sort of frustrating is that you had students in Las Vegas and in Churchill County and Washoe County all paying different costs to participate in the dual credit blockchain program that's currently piloted this past year.
as I understand it, this bill doesn't actually require them to come to a unified cost. It's a study that's going to be presented. Did I miss something?
That's correct. This Senator Dennis. This just gives the information. It'll allow the what it's currently costing to be on a report that could be used. But there's a separate committee by the Department of Ed that's been put together that's looking at the costs. This bill, what it's looking to do is trying to eliminate the barriers so that more kids can participate in dual credit programs.
What barrier is being eliminated with this bill other than the report so they can come back and report?
So I can start, and Mr. Ablisser can finish. We're removing the requirement to have the MOU and giving that to the district to be able to create, because in some cases the requirements and the prerequisites for kids to take it are a hindrance, and so this bill removes that and allows the districts to work to make sure that as many kids as possible are able to enter the program.
Yeah, to that point, through Vice Chair Dundera-Loop and to you, Senator Hardy, the barriers that we currently are seeing are the fact that the MOUs are prohibitive of engaging in dual credit participation for schools across the state. They have to file these cooperative agreements, get approval by NDE. They seem duplicative and repetitive most oftentimes at NDE level. Moreover, students have an application that has to be filed 60 days prior to the end of the session, before enrolling in dual credit. There's just a lot of unnecessary hurdles that a student has to engage in just to get dual credit. And then when they are in dual credit, another barrier is which NG institution does those dual credits easily articulate to. And current language and statute makes it aligned with the MOU institution that is or cooperatively agreed upon by the school district. So, for example, a student in Clark County who's taking a course at College of Southern Nevada that is in blockchain technology that wants to transfer and work in the north and participate and go to school at TMCC, that credit does not easily articulate under our current language. And a student has to go through a couple of hurdles just to get that credit applied to either the program of study or their college transcript. With this, it makes it universal.
I guess I'm trying to figure out where that language is in the bill. I see that every school district has to come up with a program I don't see the teeth that says you have to do this other than in page 4 of the bill where it uses the word mitigate. Is that the teeth that's in there that you have to, I mean, I just don't see that the bill's trying, I know what you're trying to do, but I don't see that in the bill.
Madam Vice Chair, Don Darrell, Senator Hardy, if you go to page 3 and halfway down, the beginning of the second struck language starts that provides the dual credit course. That language was tied to the articulation language that existed prior, and it essentially created a scenario where only the institution that had the MOU on file, because this is the language about the MOU, that credit would apply to the institution, right, the community college, state college, or university that provides the dual credit course. And in eliminating it, you eliminate the narrowness of where that credit is articulated.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. And I personally know that this discussion of credit transfer and dual credits and what have you has been going on for a long time within the NSHE system. So thank you very much. Other questions from the committee? Senator Buck, please.
Thank you, Vice Chair Dondera-Loop. Just a couple of questions, if I may. So first off, do we realize that currently AP and IB courses taken in high schools actually weight more than dual enrollment classes? And so that would be something maybe that, I started a bill with that to kind of bring some incentivizing to students because they don't have the same GPA weight. Have we thought of that? Is that something that maybe we can just take my bill and add it into this bill? Not sure of the process of that. So that's question one. And then really quick, I think it's a wonderful way to build equity. I think if high schools don't necessarily want to participate in this, it's a disservice to their community. So I would like maybe to see a little more teeth in there, in that we do make sure that students that are able can participate, especially in our most underserved communities. To be able to bridge that gap would be amazing. So just if somebody could address those two questions. Thank you so much.
As far as that's not something that we had looked at as far as the weighting of the GPA, something we can definitely take a look at. And the second piece was the making it accessible. And so elaborate on that.
Oh, elaborate. Okay. Thank you, Chair Dennis and Vice Chair Dondera-Loop. I just wanted to hear how we can ensure that our students in comprehensive high schools, say, that are oftentimes left behind because they didn't go to magnet schools, can participate in a dual enrollment program that's set up for these underserved students and kids that may need this bridge to college.
So, I mean,
where's the teeth?
Yeah. So this bill, I understand that there's probably a lot to that, but as far as the bill itself, it's removing some of these barriers to allow school districts to actually be more nimble, to be able to work with those kids in the comprehensive high schools, and give that opportunity to them. And then, obviously the other part that we talked about that the department's working on is try to make sure that the costs are comparable, where right now you might have one institution has one cost, another, and if a student has to take it in one or the other, that could be a hindrance. So obviously we got to work on that piece of it, but the ability to make this more nimble, I think, is one of the things that's going to help those kids in the comprehensive high school.
Thank you, Chair Dennis.
Thank you very much. Additional questions? Okay, not seeing any additional questions from our committee. Chair Dennis, we'll go to our callers in support on the line.
Thank you, Vice Chair. To testify in support on SB 172, please press star 9 now to take your place in the queue. Once again, to testify in support on SB 172, please press star 9 now to take your place in the queue. Caller with the last 3 digits of 469, please slowly state and spell your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and you may begin.
My name is Nate McKinnon, NateMackinnon, Vice Chancellor for Community Colleges at the Nevada System of Higher Education. On behalf of Chancellor Rose and the Nevada System of Higher Education, I am pleased to support this bill. We believe that it appropriately works to help mitigate some of the challenges with the current dual enrollment structure. As Eddie had mentioned in his comments, we are also working separately on a task force to further improve our dual enrollment system across the state, and we believe that this legislation complements that work well. We are very much appreciative of of Senator Dennis and his filing of this legislation, and believe that it would be a good step forward for the state as we continue to try and get dual enrollment access to all students across Nevada, regardless of zip code, regardless of parent level of education, and ensure that the equity agenda can be met with dual enrollment that is equal in all parts of the state. And we are excited to support this today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next caller, please.
Caller with the last 3 digits of 927, please slowly state and spell your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and you may begin.
Hello and thank you, Committee Chair Dennis and committee members. My name is Hava Ahmed, Hawah-Ahmad, and I am here representing the Clark County Education Association. The Clark County Education Association represents more than 18,000 licensed professionals in the Clark County School District. We are the largest independent teachers union in the country and in the state of Nevada. We engage in bipartisan advocacy for advancing public education in Nevada. CCEA supports the Senate Bill 172 and thanks Senators Dennis and Dondero Loop for bringing this important bill forward. CCEA believes that programs for dual credit will be a foundation of workforce development through the K-20 education delivery system. We do especially appreciate that accountability measures provided in Section 1, Subsection 2, and believe they will help to ensure that every dual credit program in the state of Nevada is outcome-oriented. As previously stated, dual credit serves 2 very important purposes, and we believe that with a more robust dual credit program, Nevada students will be able to have more opportunities to enter post-secondary education. CCEA thanks the committee and all sponsors for their effort and looks forward to supporting the full maturation of dual credit programs that will come with this session. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next caller, please.
Caller with the last 3 digits of 498, please slowly state and spell your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and you may begin.
Good afternoon, Chair and honorable members of the committee. My name is Erica Valdrez, ERICAVALDRIZ, with the Vegas Chamber. The Chamber is in support of SB 172. The Chamber supports the accessibility it provides high school students to receive dual credit to better prepare for higher education and our future workforce. The Chamber has been supportive in the streamline of access from K-12 education to higher education and the workforce pipeline. Thank you, Chair and members of the committee, for your time. We urge your support for this bill.
Thank you very much. Next caller, please.
Caller with the last 3 digits of 284, please slowly state and spell your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and you may begin.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and Senators to the Committee on Education. For the record, I am Alex Gallegos, spelled ALEX Gallegos, a senior proudly attending El Dorado High School on the east side of Las Vegas. I currently serve as the 2020 to 21 student member to the Nevada State Board of Education, where I attempt to represent my peers and advocate for their interests while fighting to ensure education is equitable and students are given the best opportunities to succeed. SB 172 would accomplish that, and I'm here to voice my full support of its passage and implementation. As a senior that is looking to continue my education into the post-secondary level, I wish that dual credit resources were more readily available and that it was easier for me to transfer those credits as this bill proposes. It would allow my dual credit to easily transfer to any college in the state of Nevada. Additionally, it helps find a uniform cost for all students in which to take the credits, and I look forward to the opportunities that more students will be able to take if SB 172 is successfully passed. This bill opens up those opportunities and ensuring each student has that option if they choose to prepare for college education in advance. SB 172 incentivizes students to further their education through dual credit courses, which many of my peers, not only in the southern region of Nevada, but throughout the state, have voiced to me were a vital part of their academic career. For this reason, SB 172 must be passed and is why I have chosen to speak today in its support. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Next caller, please.
Caller with the last three digits of 455, please slowly state and spell your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and you may begin.
Hello, my name is Gil Lopez, Gillopez, with the Charter School Association of Nevada, here in support of SB 172. Thank you, Chair Dennis and sponsors for bringing this bill forward. Anything we can do to encourage dual enrollment, we are happy to support. Thank you, Senate Education Committee. That concludes.
Thank you very much. Next caller, please.
Caller with the last three digits of 938, please slowly state and spell your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and you may begin.
Good afternoon, Chair and committee members. My name is Ariel Edwards, ArielleEdwards, with the City of North Las Vegas. We would like to state for the record that we are in support of SB 172, and we thank the bill sponsors for bringing this bill forward. We appreciate that this bill will allow for reporting, as this will allow for students to have more access to dual enrollment opportunities to achieve their educational goals. We thank you and we appreciate you for your time and consideration on this piece of legislation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next caller, please.
Caller with the last three digits of 436, please slowly state and spell your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and you may begin.
Good afternoon. This is Mindy Elliott, MENDYELLIOTT, with Capital Partners representing the Reno Sparks Chamber of Commerce. And I'm going to keep this short. We're going to say ditto to everything, all of the above. We want to make sure that we can remove all the obstacles so students can graduate and be on the road to future success. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next caller, please.
Caller with the last three digits of 837, please slowly state and spell your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and you may begin.
Kent Irvin, ERVIN, for the Nevada Faculty Alliance. Ditto, and we support SB 172.
Thank you very much. Next caller, please.
Vice Chair, there are no more callers in support at this time.
Thank you very much. We'll go to opposition.
To testify in opposition on SB 172, please press *9 now to take your place in the queue. Vice Chair, there are no callers at this time in opposition.
Thank you very much. We'll go to neutral.
To testify in neutral on SB 172, please press *9 now to take your place in the queue. Vice Chair, there are no callers in neutral at this time.
Thank you very much. We'll go back to Senator Dennis and ask you if you have any closing remarks.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As you could tell today, we've been talking about the opportunity to give kids more opportunities, and when it comes to education and specifically in the dual credit courses. So appreciate the opportunity to come talk to you about one of the things that I think could help make that easier for them. So thank you to you and the committee today for indulging the bill. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you for presenting. With no more comments, I will close the hearing on Senate Bill 172, and I'll turn gavel back over to the chair.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. We have one other item of business. We have we're going to consider a bill introduction for BDR 34-382, which is an act relating to education requiring the Board of Regents of the University of Nevada to prepare a report concerning students who are veterans, creating a preference in admission to certain programs for certain veterans, prohibiting the assessment of a tuition charge against certain veterans and their spouses and dependents, and providing other matters properly relating thereto. This is a bill that's coming to us on behalf of the Legislative Committee on Senior Citizens, Veterans, and Adults with Special Needs. I will entertain a motion to introduce BDR 34-382.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. So we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I second. And that's Senator Donati for the record.
Thank you. And just because I don't think we've done one of these yet, a vote to introduce a BDR requires a majority of the whole. This vote only allows the BDR to become a bill resolution and be referred to a committee for possibility. It is not a vote for the bill. So we do this throughout as we get bills in that come from some of these committees. That's what this is. So we have before us a bill to introduce BDR 34-382. Is there any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor say, oh wait, no, we got to do a vote, right? Actually, I don't know how we do this one. I guess I need Ms. Sturm. Do we do a roll call vote on this or a voice vote?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Jen Sturm, Committee Policy Analyst. I think it's probably best to do a roll call vote so we can make sure we've got everybody.
Okay, so if we could have the secretary call, or if we could do the roll call vote.
Vice Chair Dundaro Loop.
Yes.
Senator Hardy.
Yes.
Senator Hammond.
Yes.
Senator Lang.
Yes.
Senator Buck.
Yes.
Senator Danyate.
Yes.
Chair Dennis.
Yes. Thank you. So the motion passes. With that, we will now go to public comment. I will now open up time for public comment. Public comment is, so if you're going to connect, please start that process. Please, public comment is limited to 2 minutes per person. Please remember to state and spell your name for the record and indicate your affiliation in any. So we'll broadcast and production services. Please add the first caller.
Thank you, Chair. To participate in public comment, please press star 9 now to take your place in the queue. Once again, to participate in public comment, please press star 9 now to take your place in the queue. Chair, the public line is open and working. However, there are no callers at this time.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all that we have for today. I was hoping for a good news minute. Maybe next time. All right. Any other comments from the members before we adjourn? All right. Our next meeting will be held on Wednesday and at a regular time. So that concludes our meeting for today. Thank you very much.